but she's my neighbor. That her name slipped me someplace. Many times I finally got it there. I'm good at numbers, but names, I don't know. Sure. I gotta write it down, otherwise I forget. Hey, you turn 65, you're gonna leave. I've been that way my whole life. I remember when I was 16, I called my date. That was bad.
Okay, you're live. Sure.
Thank you guys for coming today. We really appreciate that.
You want me to?
We've been encouraging this for a long time. I really appreciate the attendance. Here, let me get some good chairs.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
Remember,
This
you're
is
all
all
on speaker, so
Gosh, I want more
keep the
than just
circle.
one person to come and spread all the information that we get here. You know what I mean?
Oh, where's
Absolutely, I got you.
9 people from the public.
I mean, next time, August 14th, we're having a meeting again with the county supervisor. James Gregory with ADOT, free construction.
Here we go.
It'll be at county school. It'll be August 14th. I think at 5:30. I've done flyers before, but I usually don't get them until about 4 days before the meeting. And then I pass them around town, so if you don't check all the bulletin boards or something like this.
This one's
I even this last meeting, I even gave something to the VFW.
no, this is mine.
But I went there early in the morning, you know.
We're getting some more
They're
bait.
gonna bust me for trespassing. A flyer to the door. Cause I even went to the churches in town, they got video cameras. I'm thinking, why did they get busted for trespassing, put them on the side of the church? I don't know.
I don't know. What is that noise about? What's that noise about? Hey, you. Miss Burke.
Here, would you like your agenda? Couple, please. Out there.
Everybody has an agenda. Look at you. Everybody has an agenda.
They all have, they need to.
God.
Yep.
Can you hear
The
me?
budget
Thank you.
Okay, because it's got some background noise. Yeah. Okay, nobody? No, okay. Well, Jeremy's back.
copies.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Moore, Chair for the Black Canyon City Water Improvement District. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. I'd like to call to order the Black Canyon City Water Improvement District regular and public budget and rate hearing meeting, which is open to the public on this Tuesday, May 23rd at the Black Canyon City Public Library. Our first order of business is roll call. Again, I'm Dave Moore, Chair.
Jed Carter, Vice Chair, and Acting Secretary.
Jeremy Bruckner, Member at Large.
Dorothy Moore, Treasurer.
Okay, and from management, we have,
Bob Hannes.
And Sarah Medina.
okay, and from the public, if you would all introduce yourself, I would appreciate that.
Dave McMahon.
What was the last name?
McMahon.
Nothing.
Tina Fair. Christina Roberts.
Elaine Clayton. Jennifer Hudson.
Greg Watts.
Chester Stone.
Sharon Mendelsky.
Tom Strezak.
You think you got that, Sarah?
It's Christina Roberts. Roberts, thank you.
Okay, great. And agenda item 2 is our customary reflection time, so we'll have a moment of silence here, please. Okay, thank you. Agenda item 3 is our board reports. Jed, do you have Mr. Carter? Okay, Dorothy? Oh,
Yes, I have a follow-up on our audits. So, we have been having the audits done every year since 2011 and before, with all coming through with no issues. Our last audit would have been in 2020. We sent the papers to our CPA, and it turned out that she had sold the business.
Excuse me, can I move a little bit
no,
closer to
no,
here?
no.
I can't hear him.
You,
You need to say the whole thing after me. You did.
okay,
We'll start over there.
let me handle that first. I'm gonna do my board report, and you can certainly move up, absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
My board report, first of all, is the transcription of the minutes has been a little bit difficult, off and on the last few meetings, and it's because it was hard to tell who was speaking at what time. So I want to remind everybody, the board is pretty familiar with this, management is aware of this, but the public is not aware that we follow an informal Robert's Rules of Order, which means I have the floor at all times until I yield it to the speaker, whether that's a board member, management, or the public. So to get my attention, you can raise your hand, or you can say Dave or Mr. Chair, or whatever you want to say to get my attention if I don't notice you. And then at that point, I can yield the floor to the speaker at that point. When you're done, you can say I'm done, or I yield back, whichever you prefer. The board doesn't care. That'll make it easier for the transcription. And that is the way it always has been. It's just gotten a little loose, and this is a reminder. As far as my postings, I posted the March 28th meeting minutes on our website, and tonight's agenda for the May 23rd meeting that we're having now. Another board member alerted me to having some information from a driver of the tanker trucks that pick up down on School Road. What is that, Old School Road there?
Schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse Road, thank you very much. So there is 2 trucks that run, and they're 4,000 gallon tankers. There's 2 trucks that run. And they make about 5 trips a day each. So that's 10 trips. That's 40,000 gallons right there. Then they have, and that's a 12-hour shift. Then they have the other 12-hour shift, which does the exact same thing, which is another 40,000. So we're talking roughly about 80,000 if they keep that rhythm, which the person that was speaking to the board member said, mostly we stick to that. And it's a 5-day deal, so it's 20 days, benefit of the doubt. They don't work on weekends much with the water trucks. Now, ADOT, in responding to the district's questions, there was about 8 or 9 of them. ADOT, the first question they answered was the amount of water they were going to pull, that we asked them. How much are you going to pull, and where are these wells? One well, it's on School Road, and 866,000 gallons and I posted this on Facebook, several Facebook pages. 860,000 gallons a month. Now, if you do the math on 80,000 a day times, if they stick to that schedule, I think that's like 1,600,000.
Yep.
1,600,000. So that's quite a bit over. And they say that their earthwork is going to continue for 12 months, so they would be pulling that amount of water. The impact that we have seen from them pulling from that site is non-existent, unless, Bob, you have an update on that.
No, you're correct.
It has not impacted our wells at all.
Correct.
Thank you, Bob. And that's the end of my board report. Yes, sir.
On Schoolhouse, would that be Tony Chandler's well? Or is that
You know,
our well?
even if I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't give it out because it just creates an issue.
No, but it doesn't belong to the water district. This is-
Oh, no,
This
it
is a
doesn't.
private well, separate
It's a
from the
private
water.
well, it's a private, property owner's well.
Okay.
That's my answer. Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay, great.
Dave?
Normally, at this, go ahead, Craig.
A follow-up on the water trucks, are they doing a round robin to where they pick up water here in Black Canyon? And I don't know if they're going up to Sunset Point or not, but are they working their way down to Anthem? And then there's a standpipe off of Anthem Way, that's right off the freeway if you're gonna get on it northbound. Are they filling up there and then watering on the way back? And then when they get here, they're empty and then they go to Schoolhouse and get their water and then go south again like a round robin? Or are they using their water from our well and then coming back, to the well on the Chandler property?
Jeremy Ruckner would have a better handle on that.
I could touch a little bit on that. I've followed the water trucks leaving town after filling up. They go down to about, sometimes they'll go just before New River, and other times they'll go just before Anthem. And just past New River, there's like their last site that they're dropping. And then they come back and they do a loop and on their way back up. But none of them that I've seen are traveling northbound, which I can imagine getting on northbound ramp would be pretty hideous if you're in a water truck. You know what I mean? Because the northbound ramp is like short runway.
Yeah.
And,
So they're not filling up in Anthem, they're getting all their water.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're hitting Anthem on their way back up. I've seen trucks stopped at Anthem that look like the same trucks filling up here, but I don't know truck numbers.
I would kind of like to know, because my understanding through ADOT that Anthem through EPCOR was supposed to give 40% of the water for this freeway, and I don't know if that is happening.
Yeah, that part was said to be involved.
Yeah, it's right there off the residential neighborhood.
So anyway, okay, thank you.
Alrighty,
All right.
I have the floor.
Sorry.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Try it again.
Dorothy?
All right, so this is an update on the audits. We had audits done every year since 2011 and before, and we always came out with no issues. Our last audit would have been in 2020. We sent the papers to our CPA to do the audit, and it turned out she had sold the business. So she gave our papers to her partner. He said he would do the audit, but never got a hold of Sarah, even when she tried to text him and phone him. So nothing ever happened at that point. So earlier this year, I called 2 different CPAs. Neither one of them wanted to do the audits. Dave called 4 CPAs and they didn't want to do the audits. So this week I looked online and I found 4 CPAs. 3 of them said, no, they're not doing audits. 1 might do it. He sounded fairly positive. And we will meet with him, Sarah and I. We had to wait until July 12th to get the appointment. And he's going to review our papers. So this isn't an easy thing, finding someone to do our audits.
A locally accessible
It has to be
person.
local and not just a CPA, it has to be a CPA/auditor.
Can I say something now?
No,
No.
not right now. You will have an opportunity
Okay, thank you.
at the public call though. Thank you very much, Dorothy, appreciate it. Jeremy, thank you. Jed, you did not have anything? Okay, we're at a hard break to go to the public rate hearing at 5:15, but we should be able to squeeze in the agenda item 4, which is the approval of the April 25th regular board meeting minutes. Everybody had an opportunity to read those? Any corrections from you?
I didn't see any.
Dorothy, any?
No, nothing.
Jet? I haven't seen that. Sarah, I have one. I'm sorry, I didn't, I know, turn that frown upside down. I didn't catch it till the second time I went through it. I just wanted to make sure the width of figures were all correct and everything. And on page 3, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line down. It says 466, 300, and that should be 416, 300.
4163.
Yes, because at that point in the discussion, per the minutes here, it did not include the 50.
Okay, gotcha.
And down below it is 466 with the 50.
And that's correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Everything was perfect until
466.
page 3.
Yeah,
That 460, the first one on the fifth line,
okay,
should be 416, 300.
416.
You have page 3.
Okay.
Okay, that being said, I will make a motion to approve the April 25, 2023 regular board meeting minutes with that one correction noted on page 3. May I have a second?
Second.
Jed Carter seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Jeremy?
Alright.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay. We are jumping down to agenda item number 7, the public budget and rate hearing. The time is 5:15. And as a recap of our April 25th meeting, to bring everybody up to speed who was not here in April, the budget committee met twice and came up with 4 options to be submitted to the full board for consideration at the April meeting. And those were, no rate increase was number 1. Number 2 was to increase the capital improvement base fee $1 per month per customer. Option 3 was increase the operations and maintenance base fee by $1 per month per customer. And that was an either or, not both. Option 4 was to increase both, the capital improvement by $1 and the operations and maintenance by $1. The budget committee, after due consideration, proposed the option number 2, which was to increase the capital improvement by $1 base fee, capital improvement base fee by $1 per month per customer. That's where we stand right now. At this point, I yield the floor to the public for any questions or comments on the budget. We want to make sure we get the input that anybody wants to give the board. State your name, please.
Christina Roberts.
Yes, Christina.
The operations and maintenance base fee, I'm either missing it or is it included under one of the fees that is listed here, and which one?
What are you looking at?
Operations and maintenance base fee that you just mentioned.
I don't know what document you're looking at.
Oh, sorry, the budget.
Oh.
Is that what it is?
Do you have the account number for that, Sarah? I could
Yes,
look it
don't
up.
think- I'm not worried about the account number, but, well, I guess it would make it easier to find them.
It would
I don't
make it
have
a
my
lot
glasses
easier.
on either, so I'm not sure, but that's all.
He's talking about the capital fund fee, right?
No, it was one of, it was either
Oh, the maintenance
the,
fee, the water maintenance.
Income.
is that under water maintenance fees, operations and maintenance?
Can you just show me what you're looking at? I wanna make sure
She's
we're.
looking at.
Just the budget.
But what part on the budget are you looking at?
On the top line, he just mentioned he mentioned three options, no increase, the increase added to the operation and maintenance base fee, or the increase added to, the, last one that you mentioned, which is the one that was chosen, but I don't see the
Oh,
operation and
the cap-
maintenance.
It's account 301.
Thanks. The capital fund was the third one, but what was the second one? Operation and maintenance base fee, what was that under? Water maintenance fees, maybe?
302, right?
They, I think you have 3 columns, correct?
No, there was 3 choices given, and
I
there's.
understand. I'm asking what, on your paper, the first column at the top, does it say capital improvement?
Oh, there.
CAP Improvement Fund.
I see.
Okay,
And
and
then
the
the
next
second-
column over says operation
That's it,
maintenance.
thank you, I knew I was missing
They're
it.
2 separate budgets.
Gotcha, okay, cool, okay, thank you.
Thank you,
That's awesome.
Sarah.
Perfect,
Yeah.
thank you. I would not have caught that, I wasn't even looking at that, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your comment. Greg? Watts, Mr. Watts.
Thank you. With the proposed rate increases, I would like to know what your thoughts is, what would happen with our budget if we didn't do them? What would happen if we just did one of the $1 with our budget? What would happen if we did 2 of them with the $1 each? How, our spreadsheet, what's that gonna look like?
It
Doing
adds-
it, not doing it, or doing them both?
What was presented by the budget committee was that one option 2, which was $1 per month per customer, which adds to our income approximately $10,000 a year. So if you do both of them at $1 per 865 connections per year, it's another $10,000. But the budget committee did not propose that. But it certainly is an option for the board at this point to do both.
And could we survive if we didn't do either of them?
Well, the problem we have is the reason that they were proposed at all, because we have a lot of years, not last year, but we have many years where there's no rate increase. Because our budget was fine, we exceeded it, and the committee didn't recommend a rate increase. This one they do because we have a shortfall of, Bob, I believe it's 17,000, the double on the chlorination cost. And what was another chemical that totaled 17,000?
So it's just the chlorine and then,
Repairs.
just repairs and maintenance, just the cost of mechanical couplers, piping has doubled.
I think the chlorine was more than the repairs and maintenance. When the share was like 4,000 for the repairs.
But that has nothing to do with the $1 that's proposed, because what's proposed is for the capital improvements. Those items are all in the operations, so 2 different.
2 different accounts. Correct. But the reason I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the budget committee recommended this is because we have so many capital improvement projects.
That's what it's for.
That's why we
Yes,
earmarked that money for that account,
that's correct.
capital improvement.
For capital improvement.
Yeah, that's the one that needs it more than operations and maintenance. So, Elaine, yes, please.
So, the end result of the budget committee, how many and who was on that final budget committee in that final meeting?
There was Sarah Rabina, who put the facts together. There was Dorothy Moore, myself,
In fact,
Thad.
So
there was
there
4.
were, so the committee was made up of Thad, and the 50% majority was the married board couple, and then management. Okay. So I noticed on,
I don't understand
I
what
just
that
think
has
it's out
to
of
do
balance.
with
So
it.
I think that the owner members were sorely, unfairly underrepresented with only 2 married people on the board and Sarah Harabina were present.
Were you not a part of that committee?
Just the one.
What happened?
Dave forbid me to record that meeting.
According to your recording that I saw, you were being rather like defiant and kind of like aggressive. So I know your video shows that. Sorry. Second of all, you were a part of that committee, were you not?
Only the one?
Yes or no?
No, I was not a part
You
of
were
it.
not?
No, I was
Elaine
not.
Clayton didn't go to the first meeting?
Only one.
And then at the second meeting Elaine Clayton went to, Elaine
I'm
Clayton
not going
didn't go
to,
leave?
I'm not going to go
Okay.
into this with you, Jeremy.
So then please stop with this rhetoric. We're trying to get through business.
Well,
This is,
excuse me, but
this is rhetoric.
again, the
You
bottom
should have been
line
there.
is 50% management, one person I'm sorry, 50% board, one person from management, and one member of the public. And I'm not gonna discuss the open board laws because that is something that has been asked and will be answered soon. And I have no problem sharing that video, none.
Okay, I would hope not. But I also want to get through this because I have more important
It was
things
a
to do
legitimate question.
than to sit here and debate and go around in circles with you.
I asked
Okay,
a
so
question, Jeremy.
I know, but you
And now
already
I
know
have
the
one more-
answer to that.
Can I ask another question, please? I noticed on the previous meeting minutes.
Is this a question? I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
And it has to do with the budget.
It has to have to do with the budget.
Both of my first question had to do with the budget.
I understand that.
So
Does
my
this one?
second question
Does
has
this
to.
one?
Well, I'll ask
Does
it
it?
and then we'll see. So I noticed on the meeting minutes
Elaine,
that
does this have to do with the
that
budget?
sales tax used to be taken out. It would say sales tax paid by Bank of the West card. Should we see any sales tax on the budget since we do pay sales tax in our water bills?
On the budget, no. You wouldn't see it on the budget because we are collecting it. It is a liability that we owe the state because we have collected it from the public. And then it is paid to the state.
So it's not documented. Okay.
It's not an expense, it is a liability. This has to do with our expenses.
Okay, I was just confused because suddenly that note stopped on the one. Okay.
Okay, I have the floor now.
Thank you.
Next question from anyone? Oh, Dorothy.
Yeah, so the first budget meeting, yes, it was Thad, Dave, Dorothy. We came up with ideas and then we brought it back to the board, to the regular board meeting for the board to vote on. It wasn't just Thad, Dave, and Dorothy voting and deciding.
Correct.
That's-
Thanks
she
for
was-
the clarification.
she was
No,
incorrect.
that's correct. I could not tell you what the board is doing because I didn't talk to any board member to ask them what their feelings were. So I have no idea if what was recommended is the way it's gonna end up. But in any event, did you have a question, Tom?
Regarding the capital improvement fund, do I understand correctly that that fund was originally set up to avoid going into debt and borrowing?
Sarah?
Do you know the history?
I do know the history, and it was set up, and I believe we are probably the only district that has such funds. And it was created so that, yes, we could put money aside to do projects.
Yes, that's
Okay?
my understanding.
Yes, and so
Okay.
it is,
Thank you.
as far as how much goes into it is up to the board to decide. And we have been doing that for, I'm gonna say it's probably at least 20 years.
Okay,
And-
thank you.
And so we've never had to go into debt for
Right.
projects.
Yes, and we're
I have
trying to
another
avoid
question.
it.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
thank you.
No, let's not talk over each other, okay? Please?
I
Tom, you have the floor.
I-
Or let
thank
me
you.
know when you're done.
Thank you, and now, yes, I just
Okay.
wanted to establish that on the record. Thank you very much.
I have the floor. So, any other questions from the public or the board or management?
Sorry.
Nope.
I heard that you guys were hiring for the office. Have you all filled the position? Has the office filled the position that they were hiring for?
Sarah and Bob are the ones that have been working on that. And they would be the ones that, if they want to answer that question at this meeting, they may.
Okay, yeah, it's no big deal, that's actually the only reason. I
Right
came
now,
this
right
meeting.
now, Sarah will be
It's a
here.
lot of information, but that's not,
Sarah will be here for a while.
okay. Thanks, Sarah.
Elaine Clayton.
I just want to note that I spoke to the former CPA, Alex Cohen, and
I'm reclaiming the floor. This
And
has nothing to do with the.
it
with the-
does.
Has nothing to do with the rate hearing. I have the floor. Is there any questions that actually do pertain to the budget and rate hearing? Yes, Mr. Watts.
So basically, you're just entertaining two things in the budget. One is the capital improvement, the $1, one's the other dollar for the other thing. That's the two things you're
Or
entertaining.
both.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah, that's what you're entertaining for the budget. Okay,
That
so I
is,
wanna know.
that is correct. Well,
Oh,
the board is, well, thanks for bringing that up, but the board is free to modify that if there are extenuating circumstances that were not known a month ago or 2 months ago. So that is where we are.
Okay, so.
On the budget,
all my questions have been on the budget.
does it have to do with the dollar amount on the rate hearing at all?
Yes, it does. So, several years ago, you had to start taking funds out of capital improvements to pay for a lawsuit. How much did you take out? How much is this increase going to, kind of put us back to where it was before you started taking it out for the lawsuit? So if you took out $2 per person for the lawsuit, and now we're putting back one, how did that work?
I'm reclaiming the floor again. That has nothing to do with this rate hearing that we're holding right now. Nothing at all to do with it. The lawsuit is ancient history back in 2016.
It's about
2016.
capital improvements.
Wait,
Which has nothing to do with the lawsuit. Jeremy, please.
we have a set agenda. You see this thing we go through? This is our time limit. She's trying to beat around bushes and like deter the real things we got going on. To bring up a lawsuit, you in fact, Elaine Clayton, already know the answer to your question, do you
No,
not?
I don't. Or
You
have.
you didn't post it all over Facebook, the $250,000 that the water district spent on it. You didn't post that?
I don't know how much
You didn't
they took
post
out of
that?
the capital funds.
You didn't post
I
that.
am not
Okay,
going
so
to be
please
working-
stop with this runabout. Can we get through this, our agenda, please? And then we'll
Jeremy, I
entertain the
really feel
public.
like I'm being bullied here. It
No.
said open meeting.
I'm being bullied because my time is being wasted when I have an agenda and I have a family at home. I volunteer for this.
Then quit.
You can deal.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You can quit.
Neutral corners, I have the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Elaine. Seriously, folks.
Yeah, really.
The board is trying to make a rational decision. As it is right now, the fund that needs the money more than any other fund, honestly, is the capital improvements. And that's why it was recommended. Arsenic's critical, but it's doing well. This is going to Tom again.
Thank you. And so regarding the capital improvement fund, and this Wi-Fi loan, would the capital improvement fund be tapped out before you started taking money from the Wi-Fi funds?
The WIFA,
WIFA.
the WIFA
Mm-hmm.
loan, as you called it, is actually going to be repaid with monies from the capital improvement fund.
So-
Because what we are doing with those funds is a capital
interesting.
improvement.
Yeah, that's interesting because
We already
You're
have
using-
plenty of money
yeah.
to
Mhm.
pay this, but you need to
Yeah.
understand, you gotta play the game to get the forgiveness.
Oh, we play the game. I see. And
I'm done with
Can
this,
you tell
Tom, I
me-
reclaim the floor.
oh, okay. You,
It's very important to
would you
save
like to tell the
district
community
money.
how much right now
How much
you've
right
been
now?
approved for on this WIFA approved?
416. 416.
Almost $500,000. Is that correct?
416.
Yes,
300.
almost $500,000.
One person
Thank you.
talks at a time.
Thank you.
give him, tell
Let me-
him how.
let me-
And I
let me
apologize for,
clarify.
I apologize for speaking over him. It should be each turn.
You should.
Okay. I'm
And I
learning.
accept it.
I'm learning.
The 416,300 is not a number we picked. I'm speaking, Tom. You were about to.
Hey.
The 416,300 is not a number we picked. We were way, way, way less than that. But they add engineering. They add enough cushion because they know there's going to be change orders because of the history, long history that WIPA has. That's what they do. We can't control what they set that limit at. We are not using anywhere near that. As you well know, that is going to cost us, that 416, that is going to cost this district roughly $120,000. The rest of that was forgiven. That's what they call it, forgiven. You follow that?
I
Yes or
follow
no?
that. You couldn't give a set amount on the interest rate?
3%.
Okay, so
Give
you're
or
telling
take.
us it's.
Nobody
well,
can
give or
set
take,
an interest
give or
rate
take, yeah.
until the loan closes.
I see.
It takes months with WIPA, as
Right.
Bob knows, as I know.
Okay. And on Facebook, did you not call me a liar for saying that
Did
you
I
were?
spell it out, liar, or did I say misleading? Misleading,
I think you
Tom.
called me a liar. Actually,
No,
It's-
sir.
yeah. No,
No,
I've got
you
it.
and Elaine said I said that. I
Screenshot.
don't believe
No,
I
it's
did.
screenshot of what
Point
you
of
said.
order, we are on
So,
the budget
but-
hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Enough of this.
Thank you.
we've
Thanks
established.
for the point of
We've
order.
established
I
the amount.
reclaimed the floor.
You have it.
Thank you. I guess we're not going to get any realistic, other than Greg, you've been fantastic. The lady that gave up and moved asked very intelligent questions. Anyone else? Because I'm worn out.
Yeah, this is exhausting.
This is it. We're still on budget right here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
got any more.
All right. So, I know you've given this some thought. I think I even know which way you're going, but I'm going to ask you.
Are you closing the floor to the public hearing?
Oh, thank goodness. Yes, the
It's what,
the
5:35?
floor is closed to the public on the right here. Now, turning to the board. Jed, do you have a preference on either option of the $1, or is there something else that you had in mind?
Well, I would lean more towards the capital improvement fund.
And
And
$1? or-
$1, yes.
Dorothy, where are you at?
That's where I'm at as well, the dollar. On the capital improvement.
Where are you at?
I'm in favor of that $1 improvement with the capital improvement fund. We have a lot of projects coming up.
No, I know.
Yes.
And that's why I'm actually, the district is going to have to absorb $7,000 minimum by only raising the rate $1. But there are just, you look at the number of pink slips that are out there, it's in the 70s now. People are hurting, and we know that. Because personally, me, I would do a $2 rate increase on capital improvement. That's where I would be. But because we're gonna have to absorb that 7,000, and it's gonna be more than that next year, in my opinion. But I will go with the $1. Capital improvement. So may I have a motion to approve a rate increase of $1 for capital improvements,
I,
beginning
Jeremy
July
Bruckner,
1. Jeremy Bruckner,
Make a motion to approve the rate increase of $1 to capital improvement funds.
okay, may I have a second?
I'll say.
Jed Carter seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Point of order,
Point of order, ma'am?
you also need then to approve the budget. And the budget is with that $1 already included, because that's what had been approved
Oh.
the proposed budget.
Should have approved that before the rate,
It doesn't-
but it doesn't really matter. Okay, I will make a motion to approve the budget as submitted. May I have a second?
Second.
Jed Carter seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously. Go back to agenda item number 5. Treasurer's financial report for approval as of April 30th. Dorothy, would you give us a recap on that?
Financial management report for approval as of April 30th, 2023. The QuickBooks balances for all bank accounts, the total all accounts, beginning total $506,810.08. The ending total $512,469.02. That's a positive difference of $5,658.94. Also, 2 monthly cash management reports are attached, showing the actual total receipts deposited, all sources in April, $45,574.54. And less general journal cash account entries, monthly scanner fee of $45, Bank of the West merchant fees of $352.43. A return check and bank fee of $15. Actual total disbursements for the month in April, $39,303.17. That gives the total all accounts balancing with above reconciliation of $5,658.94. The April billing total was $46,338.50. The April gallonage was 3,957,000 gallons. The April 2022 comparison was 4,632,000 gallons. The previous month was 3,397 gallons. Total for the fiscal year 2022, 2023 is 43,729,000 gallons for 10 months. The previous 2021-2022 comparison was 46,161,000 gallons for 10 months. Financials include QuickBooks invoices 3270 to 3284 and enhanced audits number 2741 through 2805, with accounts receivable in both enhanced and QuickBooks balancing at $29,981.34. Credit and debit card payments, there was a total of 76 transactions processed. The batch number 229 to 249, that's 43 debit and 33 credits. The total process was $6,805.29. Review of all audit adjustments was done, delinquent and penalty fees posted, final reads, refunds of security deposits, rereads, correction, turn-on, turn-offs. No impact fees were processed in April. Attached are the monthly general journal entries for approval, respectfully submitted by Sarah Bean Management and Dorothy Moore Treasurer.
Thank you, Dorothy. Are there any questions on the financial management report?
No.
Nothing. May I have a motion to approve the financial management report for approval as of April 30th, 2023?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial management report for approval as of April 30th, 2023.
All right, Jed Carter so moves. May I have a second?
A second.
Jeremy Bruckner seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously. Hey, would you mind, when you get to the well depths, would you read the last readings?
Okay.
Appreciate it.
So this is the,
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. Agenda item 6, operations report for approval as of April 19th. Bob?
So we had 41 work orders, 41 were completed. We consisted of 2 turn-ons, 5 turn-offs, no new meters installed. We had 1 meter valve replacement, 3 mainline breaks, 6 booster well pump services done, 18 meter rereads and final reads, 1 water pressure condition, and then 5 customer service work orders. So we had 2 turn-ons, 1 at Wanda and then 1 at Indian Hills. We had the 5 turn-offs, 2 at Wanda, 1 on Indian Hills, 1 on Mud Springs, and then the K-Mine Road. The K-Mine was due to a fire. The fire department actually called us and had us shut that one off. No new meters installed. We replaced the water meter. It got run over by an automobile, caused a little bit of havoc there. So, and then we had 3 mainline repairs or service. We had 2 of them at the meter box, and then 1 leaked on the service line out in the road. The well booster pumps repair, we had 6 of those. Most of those consisting of blockages from the chlorine at the system. What we're finding is running chlorine at 80 psi is becoming troublesome. So
For the lines, I'm sorry.
yeah, for the lines.
For the line, are those lines copper?
They're copper, but all the little fittings just don't hold the pressure. And so Joe's dealing with that frequently.
What are you gonna do?
We don't have a good answer at this point.
Okay.
Question,
Yes,
has
sir.
the heat been affecting that at all?
It probably has something to do with it.
Meaning if we were to put like insulated blanket around the fittings or anything?
Yeah, we'll think about that. So meter rereads and final, we had 7 rereads. 4 of them were mistakes. Worked with Sarah to get those corrected, and then 3 of them were correct. We had 11 final reads.
That's a lot.
And those are all listed out. Yep.
That's a lot.
The pressure condition was out on Pinnacle Road. They just wanted to know what the flow and the average temperature was. Customer service, we had a couple of suspicious leaks going on, so Joe went out and investigated those. And then the last one there on Ridgeway was pressure fluctuation was actually on their service line and not coming from our system. We had 50 blue stakes. The blue stakes just continue to be sky high. Pink slips, 73, as was mentioned earlier. Arsenic, I collected this quarter sample this week. That was delivered to the lab, but I obviously don't have results. The 2 monthly bacteria samples, those were collected last week. Those came back negative, which is good. And then just the annual samples, we'll start those up here shortly. Those are in July and August. Well stats, they're staying steady. So at Big John, we are a static level of 19.2 with a drawdown of 21.4. That's feet in inches. Oasis is 19 feet 5 inches, and then drawdown is 21.9. And then Oasis 2 is 19.6 with a drawdown of 21.6. GOA is 18.9 and 19.5. And GOA number 3 is at 18.4 and 20 in 1 inch. And those are staying pretty steady at this point.
Yeah, for the last month. Those are
great numbers.
fantastic. Fantastic.
Yep.
I expected them to drop a little bit more than they did. They haven't moved all that much.
Yeah.
We've been getting a steady flow though, coming down, as far as the river's concerned.
Well, that would keep them there then.
Yep.
So,
Okay, the GOA well site, the meter pedestal. We had NCS redraw those.
Sorry, could you?
The
Sorry, Bob. It just we hear it every month.
So we're making progress. So we got the plans submitted. So NCS had to redraw the plans. Got those submitted to the county. I talked to Development Services. He's looked at the plans. He's trying to figure out if we just need to do a green stamp over the counter or what. So we're like at the one yard line ready to carry this ball over. But so hopefully
Just green stamp.
Just
Cut
let's just
your
go,
electrician
man.
loose.
Yeah.
Just a little backstory to them. Can you explain how long we've been waiting on this to get approved?
This has been about 16 months.
So that's why we laugh about this.
Yeah.
Like, we're just getting annoyed by this, you know what I mean? Like, getting a permit from the county. Like, there's just APS giving us approval. There's just so many stupid stuff going on right now with this.
It's been a lot of hurdles to get over.
So,
the water treatment system, so the arsenic system, sample results came back. I sent them to Canyon State Filtration to get it, so they can start working on design and we can get a bid and we can compare that to Ad Edge and see which direction we want to go. So that's still in the works.
Great.
And then the last two are agenda items, so I'll leave those till later.
Oh, yeah, and they should be short and sweet. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Bob. Any questions on the operations report?
I just had one question on there. On the, did they give you any idea for the improvement for the arsenic? Any kind of format or any improvement that they had? Any ideas without a drawing
As far as cost,
with the formation or the design of it?
so it'd probably be a skid that just fits in the existing system or within the existing footprint of the well sites.
And they didn't give you any improvements that they had provided?
Well,
versus
what
cost?
Canyon State Filtration thought was their system didn't require as much backwashing, and therefore the life of the media gets extended. And then we also talked about a blending. We could possibly do some blending. The raw samples came back at, I don't remember all three sites, but we were at 12, 13, and 13. The limit is 10. And so we're a ton of money just to bring it down, 3 points. And so Canyon State Filtration thought we could blend a little bit of water, keep things at maybe a 5 and a 6, and extend the media. Because every time we replace the media, it's $60,000, and it lasts about 3 years. What's normal.
So that's always been on.
Point of order, Sarah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
The media, will it be the same media or would it be something else? Because I know we had talked to Canyon State back before, we installed the initial systems, and I don't think they use the same media. So if we would go that route, we got to make sure we're not replacing when we have a lot of media left.
We want to, right. So we want to, as we do this, we go down this road, and we start hitting 8. The standard is 10. We got to be below 10. So maybe we start hitting 8. We yank that one, which is going to be Big John. That's the one that's running the highest at this point. We do that one first, and then we wait because the other one, Oasis, is running at 2.7. So, or 2.3, sorry. So maybe we wait a year and a half. One of the issues that we're concerned about is we're at the life expectancy, or over the life expectancy of the fiberglass tanks. And if those go down,
You're not getting water from that well site.
Yep. And so I don't know how much we want to play that game. The board can talk about that later.
Didn't you tell me? No, you were going to play that game too long.
Right.
But you never know. It's like rolling the dice. I mean, it could last another 10 years.
Right.
Or it could just blow up. Did you tell me that the 10 on the arsenic maximum was a blended number?
It is a 4-quarter rolling average.
Rolling average.
Yep.
Okay.
So so you can go higher than that. Yes.
You can bump up over it
Right.
without having a real big issue.
And the other part of this that we don't know, so just for everybody's information, Big John was sitting at 5.5 last quarter. Oasis is 2.3 and GOA is 1.7. Now, we don't know how that water gets mixed out into the system. You know, nobody's drinking 100% of Big John water. There is probably some Oasis water being mixed with it or blended in the pipes. So, one of the things with Canyon State Filtration is they're going, instead of going all the way down, we just had GOA service, that's the one that's 1.7. Instead of going all the way down to 1.7, how about we go to 5? And so that would allow us to blend water back, and that preserves the media. So that's kind of their.
How are you gonna blend it?
So they put in a diaphragm mixing valve.
Okay, all right.
So and we'll have to look at the design and see what it looks like in the future. So, but that's kind of how they extend the media life.
Thank you,
Bob, I have one question. This water pressure condition on Pinnacle, I didn't understand the comment about the flow average temperature. What's that all about?
Sarah, help me out.
No point of order here. That was a direct question. Did you want to?
I know the answer.
Oh,
It
Sarah,
is a future customer in Kings Ranch who wanted to know what the average flow was because of designing. It was questions from the architect.
Is it a very nice lady?
I don't know, it was only a
Vacant lot?
It's a vacant lot.
I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, it was just for the architect so that she could give them information about that.
This lady's really smart, but she gets down to the fine. So what did you tell her? Did you answer her question?
Joe answered the question. So I don't know.
And I spoke with
Yes,
her.
sir.
Yes, and I spoke with her, and I don't recall what the flow was, but Joe had given, what we had told her was we would take the flow from a neighboring house, and then he gave what he thought the approximate temperature was. So
Okay, great.
Okay.
we answered that question.
Sorry,
Thank you,
I
Sarah.
asked. I'll give her a call. She's gonna put in a very cool house up there, so. Any other questions on the operations report? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the operations report for the period of April 22 to May 18th, 2023. May I have a second? Jed Carter seconds. All in favor say aye. All right, thank you very much. I think we're on agenda item 8. The Consumer Confidence Report. So, we have the data, we have the letter. Sarah put together the letter. Sarah, you want to talk about the letter at all?
No, everybody
Not-
has a
not
copy
really.
of it, and other than making a few changes that you and Dorothy had suggested, it was.
Oh, actually, I talked to you this morning on the letter, Jed.
Yes.
You didn't have any changes that I recall
Yeah.
on the letter.
Correct.
I don't know what you were thinking on the data that goes with that. I had a question, but I can't find it now, Bob. It was on one of your tests. Yeah, I didn't mark it. I'll text you when I find it, so. Are there any
Okay.
questions?
No.
Did you want to talk about the report data, Bob?
Just to summarize,
Yeah.
all of the samples that are required by the state were done, and all of them are within compliance. So we meet the Safe Drinking Water Act requirements.
Okay. It looked good to me. I didn't see anything that was any different than most years, other than the numbers changed a little bit.
If I may.
Yes, please, Jed.
Which means that it supersedes, it meets or supersedes ADQ, which meets or supersedes EPA. So the standard just goes up and up as far as passing the safe water drinking law.
Gotcha. Very good point. Thanks for bringing it up. Oh, I found my question, Bob. On the lead, on the report,
Mm-hmm.
this is now annual, correct?
Yes.
And that is why there's no numbers here at all, because we did not do that this year? Well, this fiscal year? They're zeros. That's my question.
Yeah, no, yep.
That can't be right. Well, it could.
Let me look it up.
Want me to bring up? No, never mind. That was the only question I had. It should have had last year's numbers in there at the very least.
Well, it's saying that we didn't have lead above the 90th percentile,
Yeah.
so it could be a 0. That's the result.
Yeah, number of positive samples.
Yeah, it could be a 0.
It could be.
But it's not saying that we didn't take them. It's saying that the results were 0.
Okay. From August to 22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right then. No questions? I'll make a motion to approve the consumer confidence report letter and all of the data that Bob put together, which is a heck of a lot of work. Bob, thank you. So I will make that motion for the calendar year of 22. May I have a second?
I'll say.
Jed Carter seconds. All in favor say aye. Alright. Agenda 9, Oasis Well number 2, pump motor, submersible cable, and miscellaneous. Bob, do you wanna
Sure.
cover that?
So, 2 weeks ago, Joe was saying we're having issues with Oasis Well number 2. He grabbed his little multimeter, tested it out, and he showed that it was shorting out, or it was basically grounded, the motor was. So he called KP Ventures out to verify that before we spent money in pulling the motor. They came out, verified it, that the motor was bad. They sent us a quote to install a new motor. As they were pulling it out, the down pipe, the pipe that is hooked up to the pump, had a ton of holes in it. So it was corroded all the way through, so we had holes everywhere through the down pipe. So they put in new down pipe, that's what takes it up to the surface. And then we put in new wire. The cable, the special wire was all redone, because that was bad also. And typically when you go into this kind of expense, you put in cable. The pipe, you can go, okay, that might make it another 10 years, and kind of let that ride. But, you know, in this case, we couldn't let it ride. And so they came out, took us a week from getting the quote to them getting a pump and dropping it back in and getting it back up and running. So the well is back up and running.
Okay, thank you. I put this on, not that it necessarily, but oftentimes we make this a board approval project, so that's what we'll do with this. Everyone has a copy of the invoice, actually the estimate, which is what they're gonna bill us for, right, Bob? There was no extras that you're aware of?
Not that I've heard.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to approve the new Oasis Well number 2 pump motor and submersible cable and miscellaneous piping in the amount of estimated $15,936.57, which it should be very close to that. May I have a second?
I'll say.
Jed Carter seconds. You're the second man. All in favor, say aye. All right, motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 10, the new well construction, Big John number 3, permitting.
Yep.
Bob, I give you the floor.
Yep. So I got back with the Yavapai County. Got with the Yavapai County. I sent them the approval to construct from ADQ, which then ties in ADWR's permit. They wanted a separate document, so I needed to email AWR's notice of intent to drill to them. It's made it through the environmental department. The only question they had was, where's your ADWR permit? So that got sent to them. So that one should be, we're almost there. So, and they haven't said anything about property size or none of that's come up. So we might be okay.
That might come through all right,
It might, yeah. So,
Then we can go on to the next issue with that
Yep.
property and that well, number 3.
Yep.
Big John. Thank you very much for that information. Anything else on it? You were working on, and I don't know if you were holding off on this, Bob, but you were working on trying to acquire a temporary use permit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Encroachment. Yes.
For the backwash tank at the Big John site from the county. So pretty much a temporary approval to use county land for that backwash.
Correct. That is on hold, waiting for this first permit to get approved so that I don't put any red flags saying, hey, we don't have enough property. So that one is on hold. But once we get a permit approved, I will be asking for a temporary encroachment permit from the county for the backflow or backwash tank.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
Yep.
All right, no board action required there. Agenda item 11, our last agenda item. We're already over on time. The well depth reporting monthly. An owner user requested that we have a policy change making it mandatory that we do monthly reporting on well depths. And I want to state my thoughts on this issue. I don't think we should make that a policy to report that, because then we don't have the flexibility not to report them the next time somebody comes in here and starts pulling millions of gallons of water that are impacting our wells. They're reported every month, they always have been. We just reported them a while ago with the exact specific numbers, the well levels and the draw. But I want your thoughts, because we need to make a decision since it was asked of us if we should make a policy change that the district must report. Yes, Bob?
Yep. So one of the problems I see with this is I report them through this meeting. There are 2 months a year that we don't have a meeting.
Yes.
So then, we, based on the old method, I can't report it monthly because we don't have a meeting.
Thank you, Bob. Dorothy, do you have any comment on this issue?
Well, if we have to report them, that takes away like you said, if with this construction of the freeway.
The flexibility. Yes, exactly. I know.
Otherwise, they know everything.
Right. Well, the reason we got ADOT to now communicate with the water district is because they absolutely wanted our well depths and we would not report them. And I took a lot of heat from our supervisor too. He just couldn't, I said, I can't make it any plainer on why the district is doing this. Because Kiewit Fan, who the district had a fantastic relationship with, you went to one of the meetings, and then you went on your way, and I continued to communicate with them, and then all of a sudden, absolutely no responses to emails, texts, or phone call voicemails. None from Kiewit. And I went, oh. And then one of, Chris from Kiewit, he told me why. There was a memo put out. No communications to exist from Kiewit Van on water sourcing. And it went to all employees. Chris had it and he goes, oh, wait. Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. But in any event, at that point, I told the supervisor, I said, either we have a relationship with Kiewit or we have a relationship with ADOT. But I need to know how much water. We need to know if this is going to impact our wells. And he could see that part of it. But anyway, he's still not happy with me for withholding that. That is the reason why I don't want to make this policy. I want that flexibility, but I want to know what the board wants to do. Yes?
I have a thought. Considering we go into drought season between certain periods of time of year, it'd be helpful to let people understand and know why we're entering drought seasons. And I would think like maybe a quarterly or at least a biannual report of well depth would be in fairness to the member users. And I mean, that's we don't necessarily want to do like a full month, because if we know we're in drought season and we already know our water levels are down, we can obviously, and then it does cost time and money to go do these levels, does it not? So, in fairness, to know like at least a quarterly or a biannual report as far as what our levels are doing would be in fairness to the district. Now, and I understand that like, as far as the regard goes when it comes to Kiewit and ADOT, however, it's not really, I mean, they can pull their own levels and they can go ahead and release them. People can go through and they can demand anything they want from them. So it'd be...
Oh, it happened.
Right. So
it happened at Heritage Park.
So that's why...
They pulled the levels and gave it to the Upper Alwafria, who in turn gave it to ADOT. But it didn't change the fact they still wanted them.
And I mean, they're going to get, no matter what, they're ADOT. They're going to get whatever they want anyways.
You sound just like Supervisor Gregory.
I just know how this Mr. Big Man works. When Mr. Big Man comes in barking, nobody can go back, no.
We report these every month. The likelihood of us ever running into this is another freeway construction project that's going to go on for years is very, very slim. You haven't heard from Jed. What are you thinking?
I don't see any need to mandate reporting.
No mandated reporting?
Sounds like nonsense because, and like I said, it ties our hands with outside entities too, so, and we already do give a monthly report anyway.
We do the monthly reporting. I mean, it's exact. And I don't anticipate that we'll stop doing that again, so I don't see a need for it either.
And then we do our monthly reporting at every meeting.
Yes. So I will make a motion not to make a policy change on the well depth reporting monthly. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Dork?
Chad was
Jed was what?
giving me.
Dorothy Moore seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Alright, so. we're
That,
over.
Is there anyone from the public, because I'm about to conclude this meeting, is there anyone, no, you had your time, Greg, no, okay, that has an issue with water that the district might be able to
Well, lady,
resolve?
did you have particular questions?
Not at this time, no.
Seems to be a problem here, because
I
Call
have
to
the
public.
floor, Tom.
there's a problem here.
Tom, I have the floor.
Okay, the town just witnessed the problem. Call to public.
I'm sorry?
Call to public.
Yes, sir?
Yes, what happened to it?
Well, we're 15 minutes past due, and we wasted a lot of time with a lot of interruptions during the budget and rate hearing. That's what happened to
You
it.
wasted time with
There-
that? You wasted time with the budget and rate hearing. How do
No,
you like
no,
that,
no, no.
folks?
How did that get twisted?
Wasted
Wait
time.
a second, wait a second.
You just said it.
Jeremy, you have the floor.
This is all theatrical, okay? If anybody's ever been to the circus,
You guys sure
would
are.
understand
You
this.
guys sure are.
Yeah, because, Tom, did we not go over like a 20, 30-minute sidebar on a whole lot of other things during a budget and rate?
No, because you know what,
It's
Dave?
all live.
You know what,
Next
Dave?
meeting is July 25th. We do not have
You know what,
a
Dave?
June and August because
You said
of
during
the
this
recess.
meeting, you concluded the
meeting
budget
is
and rate hearing. You
concluded
concluded
at
that.
6:14.
And then you said if anybody has any other questions, they can ask those questions
That is not
after
what
the
I
regular
said.
meeting. You did.
Please do.
And it's on video
I
live.
heard the same thing, actually.
And it
What
will be
I said
recorded
that
on video as
relates
well.
to a water problem the district could address. That's
Okay.
what I said.
Public.
Right, and yes, last meeting, we went till 6:25. This meeting, you're going till 6:15. And this meeting is more important. This meeting is more important. Yes, okay. So we see where you are with this.
Do you?
Yes, we do. We see what representation we have. We do.
You do?
Yes, we do.
I'm very happy
Yes.
for you, Tom.
Well, we are here for it.
Okay, yes, well, that's wonderful because
Other people here for you.
we'll be seeing you. Yes, we'll be seeing plenty of you.
I hope that's not a threat.
No, no.
Sounds like it's
It better
I
not
kind of took
be.
it as. I'm just
Right
saying.
here,
All right.
right here.
Theatrical.
All right,
I got it.
hey, we're done. Let's go.
You found it theatrical?
I found that thread.
Well,
Nobody.
Your arrogance is well noted.
oh geez, you know, we're volunteers here. We're trying to do the best.
Sometimes
for the
I wonder about
community
that.
That we can.
Sometimes I wonder
And
about that.
Everything we do has been
I
questioned.
realize it's emotionally
Everything.
charged. I don't even know
And I'm-
anything. Observation.
It's all right.
I understand. I don't mean to.
It's tactical, I get it.
Yeah, we get attacked every meeting.
Oh.
Not everybody does.
Like some of
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
What's that?
no.
Whoa, 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 Dorothy.
He turns the camera around right in my face.
Don't, hey, listen, stay out of her personal space.
I'm here. I've been here. You were there. You had not been there.
She was walking
You just
by.
are now. She wasn't walking by. This is all being witnessed.
You're standing there going,
All being witnessed.
crying.
Yeah, because that's what you're doing.
You go 10 minutes.
I cut all my hair off and I. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Every year. First time you pointed your hair down because it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I got another email from them this week.
And Legend, that was where the samples out.
Yeah, something with it.
Was for the Arsenal, is that right?
Easy,
And
simple.
you've got, yeah, you do have.
Well, it came right from Legend.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Not sell it,
Check.
but bring it.
Oh, that came through your
The
account.
box of love.
Yep, that was for the additional test
You just have a really
for
healthy
arsenic treatment.
Yeah, it looks natural too, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I just wanted to follow up and see if you got my
Thank you
thought.
for sharing the information and everything. Thank you for your encouragement as far as to
coming
stand
out.
by. And I will catch you later.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Okay,
Take care.
thank you. And I
Thanks, Jen.
appreciate.
Bye,
Bye, Tom.
Jennifer.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Talk.
Thanks for coming out.
So, did you get my example?
No, where is it?
When was the last time you were actually physically in the office? You personally?
It's been a while.
But I
Your bo- I
assume
did,
Joe
I-
and Jim,
No, the bottle's still sitting on the desk. if that was you.
That's the one, yeah.
Ah, you're just telling me, okay. And I just went to Lincoln's today too. I will get that delivered.
Oh, you went to, there's no hurry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that it got to you, that's all.
Sarah?
Have a nice evening.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Head home. Take care, Tom.
You too, Sarah.